Hi, I'm Meaghan Chitwood, and welcome to From Overlooked to Consistently Booked. I help sales professionals and business owners build strong, effective referral networks so they don't have to chase business, it comes to them. Each week, we break down what actually makes people refer you, trust you, and talk about you. This week, we are talking about why you're showing up, but nothing is happening with Brock Beiersdoerfer, my EOS Implementer. Brock, welcome to the show. First, I want to talk about kind of your BNI experience and how your expertise in EOS applies to networking.
Yeah. I don't even, I've told you this, I think, before, but I was in BNI probably 20 years ago as a employee benefits person and never got referrals that worked for me. And then I jumped back in again about a year and a half later, and everything's been different.
Yeah.
This go around.
So you never were in it with the donut shop then?
No.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was the donut shop.
No, it was insurance.
So what do you think was the biggest difference between your previous experience and this one?
This time, I really did some research. Does it usually work for what I do? Most people said it did not. I found somebody in our Slack channel for EOS implementers that said she had success. So I reached out to her and she said, you need to look for a chapter that is heavily B2B. 50% of it needs to either be your target market or serve your target market. And the one that I visited, I went through the whole roster, looked up every company, made sure that they fit that criteria, and right at 50% did. So I said, well, let's give it a shot and see how we go.
I had a very similar experience. So when I joined BNI, I joined in Northern California first, and then I moved back here to Alabama and rejoined. And the rejoining, because I'd figured it out the first time around, similar to you. And the rejoining is very similar. I was making sure that I was going to be surrounded by people who would actually be able to help me with the referrals we're looking for.
And that I could help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So who has been your ideal client, your target audience and your target market, as you've been talking about?
So ours is always business owners who want to grow, who, are willing to be open and honest. They are frustrated and they want help. Typically 10 employees or more is our kind of target market. Yeah. And that's who we look for.
And so you're dealing with a lot of people that end up with a lot of frustration, which is why they actually bring you in. So, what are some of the things they tend to be frustrated with when it comes to like relationship building and all of those things?
It kind of all ties in together. A lot of it is they're working too many hours for what they're not getting what they want out of it. But the working too many hours a lot of times goes back to not finding the right people. You don't feel like you have people you trust, you can't really delegate to them and trust that they're going to do it right. And so, they're not able to go out and grow business and make things better, processes, all that kind of stuff, because they're spending all their time in the business. And then they don't have time to network. They don't have time to do all the things that they should be doing as owners.
It is so interesting. The more you talk about it from your business perspective, it sounds the number of times that I hear people say, I'm too busy. Busy doing what, right? Are you busy doing your job? Are you busy doing what other people are really supposed to be doing? And
even in our chapter, the plumbers, electricians, and things like that, I don't know how many conversations we've had with them. If you can just pay somebody $15, $20 an hour to come to your meetings for you, be here, represent your company, and you go do your thing, or then that will free you up at least some time to be present in a BNI chapter, give referrals, pass referrals, receive referrals, show up consistently, or have somebody to show up for you if you have to be on the job all the time.
Yeah, I love seeing a business that wants to ultimately scale, right? I started where most people, I think, start, which is you fire your boss because you want to be your own boss, and then you start working on figuring it out, and then you finally get to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm everything to everyone. Yeah. And ultimately that's when you have to start bringing in, like, what is the ultimate system to make that work?
To make it work.
Yeah. So when you started really networking for your business, what did you find was working and not working? And how did you look at the lens to determine where the right places were going to be for you?
In terms of
just you networking your EOS business.
So when I first started, I hired a sales coach, right? Because going around with donuts is super easy. No, you don't even have to sell anything. You just take them in. People love you. It's all happy, and they come to your donut shop. But as a sales coach, that's different. As a business coach, that's different. I felt like I needed to transition and just relearn those skills. So I hired a sales coach, and he really helped me define who do I need to be targeting? What do I need to be saying? How do I move things forward? We talked about different avenues to do it. And so EOS implementers don't cold call. So it's all about networking and building relationships. And since I'd had experience in the past and knew kind of the system of BNI, I thought it could be a good place to start.
Yeah. We were remiss. What is EOS? Probably should have started there. What is EOS for people who are watching?
So EOS stands for the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And it's just a way of kind of harmonizing and orchestrating all the moving parts of the business to help you run a better business and really just get more of the right stuff done every week to help you achieve what you want to achieve out of the business.
The thing that drew me to it, I got introduced by reading the book Traction by Gino Wickman. What attracted me to it was everyone's good at setting goals and making plans. I'm really good at setting goals, setting a strategy. Love that part.
Right.
Then when it gets to the actually doing part, that's the part where most people fall apart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just having that, what they call, how do you build traction, I guess, to start getting the right activities going?
So in EOS, we really take more of a traction first, vision second approach. You really need the discipline and accountability kind of built into you so that the wheels start turning before you set a vision you want to go try to achieve. Because without the discipline accountability, to your point, we set goals, we set priorities, but then they never get done because we don't have the accountability or the discipline to continue to move forward those goals. And so, that was something. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and then, so how do you see people shifting to get better results by using the EOS system?
Well, so I have a client who, when we first started, of course, they weren't setting priorities every 90 days to begin with. Once we set rocks to begin with, they completed 42% of them. The next 90 days, they completed 53% of them. And then for the last 3 or 4 quarters since then, they've completed over 80%. And so having weekly meetings that are actually productive, efficient, good communication, building team health, getting to know each other, solving problems together, a good scorecard that you're tracking so you know in your numbers, checking in to make sure you're actually accomplishing and making steps towards those priorities, and really digging in and solving your issues from week to week really sets the framework and the groundwork for being able to solve the issues as you move forward.
So you used a couple of phrases that I really want people to know what they are. I know them and love them, but rocks, like what is a rock?
A rock is just a 90-day priority. So it comes from the analogy of the glass cylinders and the rocks and the pebbles, sand and water, if you're familiar with that. Most people don't like to get a priority or a goal from their boss, but rock is just kind of a sticky term. But I don't mind a rock. I'll take a rock, So that's the rock, the 90-day priority.
And then one thing I do love is because usually you set a goal for 90 days and then you don't look at it again till the end of the 90 days, right? But part of your system is you're looking at every week to say, are you on track? Are you off track?
That's right. And then the important part is because a lot of people every week was like, I'm on track. And then you get to the end of the quarter and it's not done. And so it's also being healthy as a team to say, are you really on track? Like, I don't think you've done anything toward that, and being able to call each other out and say, okay, maybe you're right. I probably need some help.
So I feel like when we're working with small business owners, right, and sales professionals, I think confronting the brutal facts is one of the biggest challenges they ultimately have, right?
Yeah.
This BNI thing's not working for me, or this thing's not working for me, or that thing's not working for me. What do you, like, how do you start getting that discipline, I guess, to kind of what advice would you give?
I think accountability, so having somebody that you are close enough with you or that a mentor, like having a mentor in the chapter that can really call you out. It's like, are you doing, here are the steps to success, because BNI is very clear on the steps to success. And are we really doing it? So that's what we talked about at our last education moment was, if you come in late and you miss the networking and you're not doing the one-to-ones, then people can't get to know you enough to trust you to refer to you. So you're not getting the results that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And you really have to do all the things. You really do have to do all the things.
And if you do them, they work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think EOS and BNI have really good systems if you just use those ultimate systems. Yeah, they can be really, really helpful. So the next segment, I want to talk to you about your story, the donut shop specifically, right? I love telling your story, being like, you didn't implement it in a corporate world, you implemented it in a donut shop. So that's what we're going to talk about on the next episode to really dig in, and how does EOS really work in real life. So with that, I want you to remember, referrals don't come from chasing, they come from connection. We talked a lot about connecting on this segment. When you build the right network, business follows. And if this was helpful, subscribe for more conversations like this. And if you're ready to grow through referrals, check out a BNI chapter near you.